This is VOA News. I'm Marissa Melton. Israel's military hit sites in Lebanon and Gaza on Friday in retaliation for rocket attacks it blamed on the Islamist group Hamas, as tensions following police raids this week on the Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem threatened to spiral out of control. Reuters' Olivia Chan has more.
Israel's military hit sites in Lebanon and Gaza early on Friday in retaliation to rockets fired at northern and southern Israel over the previous day. Israel blamed those attacks on the Islamist group Hamas as tensions threatened to spiral out of control after police raids this week on Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem. No serious injuries were reported and neither side seemed keen to broaden the conflict. Earlier this week, Israeli police clashed with Palestinian worshippers, arresting and removing hundreds of people from the compound. It drew condemnation across the Arab world.
That's Reuters' Olivia Chan reporting. Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas says he wasn't required to disclose the many trips he and his wife took that were paid for by a Republican mega donor. Thomas said in a statement he was advised by court colleagues and others in the federal judiciary that this sort of personal hospitality from close personal friends who did not have business before the court was not reportable. Thomas didn't name the other justices or those in the judiciary with whom he consulted. ProPublica reported that Thomas has for more than 2 decades accepted luxury trips from the donor nearly every year without reporting them. Justices must file an annual financial disclosure report, but there are exemptions for hospitality from friends. More on this story and all the stories we're covering at our website, voanews.com. This is VOA News. An Iranian court has ordered the execution of a man accused of killing 7 people during nationwide protests last year. VOA's Jeff Custer has more.
In an online posting Friday, Iran's judiciary reported Abbas Ghakouri was accused of using a military weapon to fatally shoot 7 people last November in the city of Iza in Khuzestan province and charged with capital crimes. At the burial of one of the shooting victims, identified as 10-year-old Kian Perfalik, the boy's mother reportedly blamed security forces for killing her son, while officials insisted he was killed in a terrorist attack carried out by an extremist group. The Islamic Republic witnessed several months of civil unrest following the September 16th death of Kurdish-Iranian 22-year-old Mahsa Amini after arrest for allegedly flouting Iran's strict dress code for women. Hundreds of people were killed, including dozens of security personnel, and thousands were arrested in connection with what officials labeled riots fomented by Iran's enemies. Jeff Custer, VOA News, Washington.
The Republican-controlled House of Representatives in the U.S. state of Tennessee expelled 2 Democrats after they took part in a gun control protest last week. Justin Jones, one of the evicted lawmakers, said it was a dark day for Tennessee. Reuters' Almond Lee reports.
Aye, 72, 25 nays. I hereby declare Representative Justin Jones of the 57 Representative District expelled.
The Tennessee House expelled 2 Democrat lawmakers on Thursday, a week after they took part in a gun control protest at the state capitol. The vote by a Republican supermajority to remove Justin Jones and Justin Pearson, 2 young black legislators, was an extraordinary measure to discipline them for leading an act of protest that Republicans say broke decorum.
It will signal to the nation that if it can happen here in Tennessee, it's coming to your state next.
Along with Jones and Pearson, a 3rd Democrat, Gloria Johnson, were accused of breaking House rules by leading hundreds of protesters into the State House last week to demand tighter gun control. The demonstration came 4 days after a Nashville school shooting left 6 people dead.
That's Reuters' Almond Lee reporting. Russian news agencies reported Friday that investigators have formally charged Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich with espionage. Those news agencies say Gershkovich denied the charges. Russia's Federal Security Service said on March 30th that it had detained Gershkovich in Yekaterinburg and had opened an espionage case. It said the 31-year-old was collecting what it said were state secrets about the military-industrial complex. And with tensions between the U.S. and China at a low point regarding relations with Taiwan, the chairman of the U.S. Foreign Affairs Committee, Michael McCaul, has led a congressional delegation to Taiwan. On Friday, he told Taiwan officials he was doing everything possible to speed up the delivery of weapons to Taiwan. Marissa Melton, VOA News.